Meantime, we want to get to the president's address about this very issue. Did President Obama get his message across to the people last night when he addressed the nation from the Oval Office about the BP spill? Joining us now from Washington is former White House Communications Director to President Bill Clinton, current Worldwide Vice Chairman of Burson-Marsteller, Don Baer. Don, thanks for joining us. You know, we just had on the mayor of Orange Beach, Alabama, and he's very frustrated about the experience down there, says the federal government has not taken the lead. He said, as to the president's address last night, he was very disappointed. Quote, "I didn't see fire in his eyes. I didn't feel passion. I didn't see the grit in his crawl." Do you think that's a fair characterization?
No, I don't really. I thought the president's speech was fine last night. I know there are critics who feel like they expected the Gettysburg Address or President Roosevelt's speech to Congress declaring war in 1941. This is not a situation that requires that. You don't give a speech from the Oval Office in which your eyes are blazing and there's grit in your teeth. I thought the president covered a lot of important ground quickly and well. I think if there was a problem with that speech, frankly, it was about the action, and in particular the action that he's going to take with regard to energy independence and climate change, right, which he left open and pretty vague.
Right, and that imprecision is garnering some criticism there, yet at the same time the president was very specific about boots on the ground, you know, numbers of resources being allocated. You wanted more detail of what it was he was proposing on the legislative front?
Well, I think if he is serious about doing something on the legislative front, he needed to propose more detail, rather than saying he's going to listen to everyone, that he's wide open to whatever comes his way. If he really wants to make this happen and intends to do it, he actually needs to set out an agenda and a roadmap for getting there.
But was it the right venue to do that? You know, you hear from people on the Gulf Coast, they're so angry right now. They want to hear about fixing the problem, stopping the bleeding, stopping the leak, to then transition to policy making. Was it the right thing for the president to do last night?
That's what presidents do. They both lead the country towards fixing problems that are existing problems, and they point the way towards how we're going to solve even bigger problems. And this has all been linked together now, perhaps to good effect, because it gives him a chance to jumpstart that part of his agenda. So sure, it's a perfectly reasonable place to do it. I do think this. People, especially the pundits and the media and the like, place way too much emphasis on every speech. And some of that's because they're writers, and many of them are actually former speechwriters themselves. And so they think these speeches are vitally important. Sure, speeches are important, but what really matters are his actions, and frankly, what really matters is what he's doing every day now going forward to, as you say, fix the problem, deal with the situation, and begin to move things forward. It's actions that speak to the American people, not words.
We have only a few seconds left, but I want to ask you, what would you advise Tony Hayward and leadership at BP to do? What's their address they need to give to this nation?
Well, I don't know if they're going to give an address to the nation. They do have ads out there, but they need to continue on to show that they're on the ground getting the job done, and where they can't finish it, that they're determined that they're going to stick with it.
All right, Don, thanks for giving us your perspective this morning.